Well, it's an early start. We are on the road. See, we're all hitched up. First stop for overnight, Camp Pedro. Let's rock and roll. Driving down is Miss Phoebe and me. Bring you back when we get there. So when you get off the exit, it's 1B off of 95, and it's well marked to the campground. And you can see there's the Pedro campground sign. You can see the gas pumps right here. Over there is the bargain outlet, the internet cafe, adult games, not sure what goes on in there. And there is the campground office, and they're in there till 9 p.m. So everything well lit up. Campground. And if you look up there on that water tower, it says SOB, which stands for south of the border. Look at this. Got a chicken ornament here. Marie would love that. So Maria will be joining us on Friday. All right, we made it to our stop. Our first stop is south of the border, Camp Pedro. Here's our site. This is site 103, so it's the first one coming in. Of course, on the fun side, they have a picnic table. I didn't put the mat out or anything because I'm just here overnight on my way to Florida. But look at this. Perfectly level without unhitching. That is awesome. Well, you can see the site's pretty big. Now, you can pull through either way. So it's got water, electric, and sewer on both sides. So I just, since that one was closer, I just hooked the electric up there. See, these are pretty big sites. You can see 103, and they're lit. So at nighttime when you come in, you can find your site. So I like that, you know, you can find your site. When you come in, you can see it's pretty clearly marked which way to go for your sites. We are on a trip to Florida to see my niece get married. So we'll be in Central Florida. And on the way home, we're going to stop at Tallulah Gorge State Park, and we're going to stop at Natural Bridge. So it'll be a nice trip. Of course, Phoebe came with me. And of course, south of the border, you know, it's there. You can see the famous hat that you see off at 95. So they have a restaurant right here, a store. This is a gated park, so I like that. And there's the gate to come in, and there's the gate to leave. So for an overnight stay, not bad. And a friend of mine, Gary, gave me some advice on coming down. He said, come down 81 and then get on 17, and that'll drop you on 95 below DC. And it worked great. It adds about maybe 15 miles or 15 minutes to the trip. If you have one backup on 95, you've lost an hour, especially around DC and Baltimore. So that's a really good way to go, and there was very little traffic the entire way. So that was nice. Full hookup, $58 with a Good Sam or AAA discount or ARP. They had a bunch of discounts. So I said, well, choose whichever one's the highest. Well, they're all the same. Definitely bigger rigs over here. These are in the 150s. Yeah, I imagine they're going to put some more sites in over there, because it is a really convenient spot if you're coming back from Florida or heading to Florida from the northeast. It's, you know, it's a halfway spot. This section over here is the original section, the older section, which is smaller because, you know, when they built it, campers were not the size they are today. You can see this goes a long way down there. They have a lot of sites here. Phoebe's been in the truck for 9.5 hours, so she's enjoying being outside, and it's not 34 degrees like it was when I left this morning from Pennsylvania. Here you see some back-end sites, which I prefer back-end sites, but if I'm only going to be there one night, if I can just roll into a pull-through and not have to unhitch, I'll do it. You can see site 27. I do especially like that the signs are lit up at night. So coming in off the highway, you can find your site. Very nice. Here's bathhouse number 2. It is accessible. So I'm pleased with the price. I'm pleased with access and the fact that the gas station's right out front. There's restaurants and shopping and arcades, like an internet cafe. So there is a lot to do here. You know, if you come in off the road and you don't feel like making something to eat in your camper, you just go get something to eat at the restaurants. So I like that about the place. Maybe we'll check that out in a little bit. Got to feed Phoebe first. She's been a good trooper on her travels. She's a good dog to travel. She really does well in her basket in between the front seats of the truck. Come on, Phoebe. What do you think, Phoebe? You liking your walk? Got her nose to the ground. The thing I like about those R-Pods is even though they have a slide, it only comes out, you know, a foot and a half. So you're not hanging a lot of extra weight on there. I think that's helpful so the slides don't fail. There's the laundry. This is bathhouse number 1 that has the laundry. Come on, babe. Sites 10 and 12. So get some more back ends along the edges and pull throughs in the middle. And they do have a playground for the kids. Got some stuff there and a rhino. Here's the pantry. If you need groceries, that's where you find those. And you see the Burrito Loco Mexican restaurant over there. There's the big hat you see from the highway, south of the border. motel. There is a pool, indoor and an outdoor pool that you can use when you're at the campground. Here's the Myrtle Beach shop. Like we got a whale, a gator, and a crocodile, and a flamingo, and a conch. And another store, Pure Life store, Pure Via. And it looks like some food places over here. A Sombrero restaurant. Here you can see the restaurant, Sombrero, with Polanco's Bar.
Well, that gives you a look at our first stop on our spring trip. So on this trip, we are headed all the way to Florida to Mount Dora for a wedding. My niece is getting married down there, Ashley and Michael. And this was our first stop at Pedro's, Camp Pedro, south of the border, just below the North Carolina border. So I wanted to stop there. I've seen several people have talked about that place, and it was really nice. It's gated, so I did like that. The sites were perfectly level, so I didn't have to do anything. I didn't even have to get off the hitch. I just stayed on the hitch and plugged in because I was just there for the one night. And then the following day, we'll head to our second stop, which will be in Florida, Fisherman's Cove Golf and RV Resort, near Mount Dora, not quite in Mount Dora, but it's about 8 miles from the wedding venue and about 15-20 minutes from Mount Dora. So that'll be the next video you see. And then after we're done in Central Florida, then we'll head to Tallulah Gorge State Park in Georgia, which is a beautiful area. We were actually in that area for a wedding a couple years ago, but stayed at a VRBO. We didn't have the camper with us. And then we're on to Natural Bridge, and that'll be our last stop before we get back home. Marie will be joining me in Florida, and then she'll be with me at the other spots on the way home. Hey, look, if you enjoyed this video or it helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Hey, thanks for watching.